Hello, you are listening to Between Sets. This is Fuzz.
And I'm Mike.
How are you doing? I won't lie, I've not really had much time to put myself in this mind space yet. It's been a bit non-stop today.
Kind of, yeah, I get it. Yeah, similar kind of thing. I've been in a lot of different brain modes today already, as it were.
Brain modes. It's almost like being a PT, you do need to be slightly bipolar, I've discovered.
Yeah, you've got to be able to switch between different things, as it were. So I've been in PT mode, my own training mode, class mode, and then sports massaging. So
it's all sport related, though, isn't it?
They are, but I don't know, they're very, very different. So, like, when I'm PTing, I know each of those people very, very well at this point, so I can kind of just dial in, happy, know what I'm doing. Training, got to get into a certain mindset with it, like a little bit aggressive, a little bit, concentrate on what I'm doing, that kind of thing. And then complete other end of the spectrum into classes, as you will soon discover, where you've got to be sociable, and it's not my strong suit.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a sociable guy. Yeah. This is what I do. I think that's the only niche I have. Is the thing is, right? 2 years ago, I wasn't sociable, but I can just put up like this weird mask, and I thrive from it. But yeah, we're going to have a very sporty orientated podcast today with a guest, with a Courtney. I don't actually have her last name. You're going to have to help me out with that for the promo. Do you know her last name? That might be the first question we ask her. What's your last name?
What's your full name? Williams.
FYI. Thank you very much. Yep. Courtney Williams. Very generic sort of name that is, isn't it? You can't. If you search Courtney Williams on Facebook, there'll be a fuck lot of them. I reckon. If you just type in my last name anywhere, my face is just planted on your mobile now. It's crazy.
My exact name is an American footballer's name. So if you search for me, you won't find me.
No, you'll find a lot more attractive, bulkier man.
You'll find me on my feet on OnlyFans if you're interested. If only that were.
What would you call it? I want to know what your username would be.
I don't know, something Hobbit related, obviously. I like Lord of the Rings.
Hobbit related.
Hairy feet.
What would that be? Hairy feet. You got to involve the little this little piggy sort of thing. My little piggy.
I could create an alternate ego just for OnlyFans, Mr. Underhill. You know,
Mr. Underhill. What I don't.
Lord of the Rings fans will get that. Yeah. Guys, if you're a Lord of the Rings fan and you get that, just let me know.
If we've got Lord of the Rings fans listening, I don't know if I want to continue this podcast. That's where we're at with that.
I mean,
you are a weird specimen, though.
I know. I'm a bit what's the word? Dichotomous. That's our word for the day.
Jesus Christ! I didn't think I'd have to bring a fucking dictionary to this podcast.
Yeah,
that sounds like a dinosaur.
To be fair, many contrasting things going on. You know.
It's called bipolar, isn't it? We've already discovered this.
That. Yeah.
So for me, it was a completely different sort of I woke up, had a consultation, then I had to go do a PT session, did a bit of boxing, and then another consultation, and then I've got to start building this website, and then a bit of videography. Do you know what I mean? I am the definition of I can barely fit in a wank. But that's where we're at.
For YouTube viewers, the cat has officially joined and is just trying to block
Mike's trying to entice me with his pussy, but I'm not having it.
The saddest part about this is whenever I've posted anything on my social media, it gets as much attention as you'd probably expect, and then you post a cat, a big ginger fluffy thing, and people go mad for it.
It's because they're not expecting it. It's a PT page, and all of a sudden
you just berserk for it. Yeah, you'd think you'd come to my page expecting, here's some useful information on blah blah. People aren't interested. They're just not. You post a cat.
This is the thing with social media nowadays, when people get too obsessive with likes and engagement. Right? People are still reading it. Normally, you only get people that are liking your posts that are generally obsessed with you, which could be a concern.
We have a few people that are like that.
What, me or you?
Well,
my voice.
Us, I would say.
As soon as they see my face on YouTube. I would love to know anyone that's only listened to us. They've never seen us in real life. go onto YouTube and let us know. Does the face does the face meet the voice? And if it doesn't, 100%. Was you disappointed or?
Yeah, that's a really good shout. Like if you're a Spotify or Paul, whatever thing that you're listening, write down the description beforehand, before you go onto YouTube or before you look at our page. Do we match? And like how far off? I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know what sort of metrics you'd use for that, but yeah. We've got Courtney Williams coming on very soon. One thing I didn't check with you is that she definitely received the invite.
That would have been a good thing to check, yeah. I mean, I would check on Instagram, but every time I go to load anything, or if I search for someone, it just sits on loading. I don't know what's wrong with it.
On Instagram?
Yeah, that's how I ended up messaging her. But
I didn't even contact her. This is all you. So if she fucks up, this is on you, right?
Oh, well, this could go very wrong then, because I didn't confirm that she got the email either.
I just sent her the email. Well, no, I just sent her the invite through Riverside.
Yep.
For 3:00 today. Did you message her back saying 3:00 today?
No, I said I'll keep you posted, and then we were sending the invite through.
Oh.
Right, so this could be just the two of us episode and the cat.
Fucking hell, Mike. Is it? Have you messaged her just now?
I haven't, but I feel like if it's, I mean, I can do.
Could you just say, like, did you receive the email? Because we're on the podcast.
It might be a bit short notice if she's only looking at it now, though. Do you know what I mean?
But she said she was free, so hopefully she's still free.
Yeah, I just do I chase now, or is that taking the piss? I mean, we have other things we can talk about as well. I've just sent her a message. We will see. I was so you're 11. Am I getting it right? The 11? 11?
The 11. You ought to say like that.
The 11.
No, you're not saying it properly. You're not saying it properly, Mike.
What am I saying?
The 11.
The 11.
Yeah, just about. Carry on.
Okay. I mean, we know the voice isn't up to your standards anyway, so I'll just gloss over
Unless it's South African. Is it South African? Or is it? Yeah, you said you said you did like is it South African you did? I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. I don't know how I would. Yeah, but that's fully booked now, correct?
Oh yeah, we're all good. It all goes live on the weekend. Well, I say weekend. It goes live on Monday technically, because then 11 weeks goes up to the 1st of December. But I'm getting them in slightly earlier, 8 a.m. on the weekends, just to do a quick induction around the gym and show them on the machine so they can crack on with their program, because that's what it is about. It's first class service, Fuzzy Fuzz, the 11.
Lovely stuff. Talk me through the timetable. What's the class timetable looking like?
So what I did was I added them all into a WhatsApp group. We're all in a WhatsApp group now, and I just spoke to them all and just say what sort of dates and times will work out best. Most of them said weekend mornings, so then I gave them a voting thing, a poll to use. Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., and most of them voted for 9 a.m. on a Sunday. So that's what we're doing at the minute.
9 a.m. on a Sunday, really? That's interesting. Because Sunday is normally a day when fitness classes are just not a thing. Normally Saturday.
Well, they are now. The 11, revolutionising fitness classes.
Game changer. Are you excited, nervous about any of the classes in particular?
No. I love being outside my comfort zone. That's the thing. Like, I'm thriving off of it. I need to obviously spend a bit of time beforehand, like sort of getting a routine together for aerobics or and stuff. But I've got all my tools. I say now. Like the only thing I'm missing are the steps. I purchased them. They're on their way, but we don't need them for another couple of weeks anyway. But yeah, no, it's good. I'm excited. Like for me, I'm not even worried too much about the fitness side. It's just kind of keeping them engaged, which I love doing, and just keeping them happy and being the life of the party, mate. That's what I am.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I've started running this challenge thing, which is going to run from September through to the end of December. And I'll tell you now, like the mindset shift of putting a leaderboard So on the app that I use that you've used before as well, so I've created a leaderboard essentially where you score points for doing good things. So hitting a workout, recording your nutrition, weighing yourself, just again recording data, this kind of stuff.
Okay.
People are getting really competitive with it.
Really if we are talking, how many months worth of PTing is on the line?
Well, essentially, if you're paying just for coaching, or if you're just paying for PT, if you're paying for multiple sessions a week, if you win, you get that money back across that 3-month period.
So someone's
3 months worth of coaching to get back.
The top package that includes massaging.
Yep.
Are they going to get all that back, or are you just charging for the massaging?
I'll be charging for the massaging, but you would get back whatever you've paid for in terms of coaching.
So that's about what, for 3 months?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez,
it's over £400 you get back.
Yeah, so that's why, of course, that you'll be competitive. So what you can get for 400 quid? That's a drone. That's a camera. That is a decent speaker.
Yeah. So people are starting to really graft, which I like. Just got to find the right incentive. Turns out it's money.
Yeah. That's quite a lot of people's incentive, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's a win-win situation, though, because let's say you work hard and you just missed the post. Okay, well, cool. You just made some really good progress for 3 months. Go again.
Exactly. And that's kind of what my intention behind the 11 really is. Like, because we're very different PTs. Like, I'm focused heavily on people that just haven't seen the gym in a while, that are struggling emotionally, struggling mentally with just the thought of it.
Yep.
Because that's where I've kind of been. Like, I love that. Like, we all have our ups and downs, and it is so easy to just kind of let life catch up with you. And all of a sudden, you're 5 stone overweight. You've not seen a gym in a while. You've taken up vaping or something stupid like that. Believe it or not, 5 out of 8 of people that I've already done consultations with today vape. And it's just like, I spoke to them like, look, the 11's given you an opportunity to take away fitness and health for next year's resolution, because we're going to already have set the habit, we've set the foundation, and we're going to continue as it is. So do yourself a favour. The only thing you need to focus on from January the 1st is vaping. Get rid of that fucking stupid stick that you suck on. And I say that with so much offence, because it really pisses me off. But everyone that's vaping right now and listening to this, you all feel the same way. Like, you are a human being reliant on this tiny dummy with a battery in it.
Some awful little vape jizz, which has to be flavoured like fucking mango passion fruit.
Yeah, and I do sound, I know I sound like I'm coming from a stupid place, and people are like, well, it's better than smoking. I'm fully fucking aware of that.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, from their perception, that's the reason why they did it. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why they vaping. But because at that age, right, if they're like in their 20s and they're vaping, I know it. I know they didn't even fucking start smoking. They just want to suck on the stick. But these guys that are like in their 50s and they're vaping, I'm fully aware that they've made that decision, the conscious decision to go, right, I want to stop smoking, I'll go into vaping and hopefully I can stop at some point. But now they're stuck in this sort of middleman area of vaping, which it's just, as you say, like it's just killing you in a different way. That's kind of the only thing that's really different about it.
I mean, I've got a client currently. She never actually smoked at any point in time. She started vaping just because it was like this sociable thing to do and out drinking and stuff like this, And she's had to go for like asthma assessments and all this kind of stuff, like full on like volumetric flow analysis, all this kind of thing, purely because of vaping. She stops vaping and she's fine. But this is she's only aware of that because she's, pushing in terms of fitness boundaries, right? If she weren't doing that, it's whether that would actually be noticeable enough. So all these people that aren't noticing are doing some serious damage to their lungs and airways in general. It's just horrendous. I mean, I can give you my approach if you like, so I had a client due to going into a PT session with her, and she wanted to get into like female bodybuilding, similar to what Alice had done. And I happened to be coming to the gym after her, so she was walking up to the door, vaping away, thinking I couldn't see her. She was thinking I was already inside the gym and couldn't see it. Walked up behind her, said, right, Give it over. You said you'd stopped. Handed the vape over. In the bin.
Are they disposable? I don't even know. I don't know what that means, but they should probably just go out and buy them.
Disposable in the sense that it was gone. So yeah.
Has Courtney messaged back? Are we doing this solo? I'm assuming we are now.
We might well be doing this solo.
We have one job, Mike. You had one job.
Listen, it's not gone well.
I don't even know what to call it. It's going to have to be. I'm not sure what we're going to call this episode.
There's your title. Mike's fucked up. It might be a reschedule.
Mike's fucked up. ... Yeah, that's the one. That is the one. And now you know the reason why Mike fucked up, guys. We're 20 minutes into the episode. Then there's no guest.
You're welcome.
I'm not sure the last time you tried. Wait, no, you have brought guests on before.
100% I brought guests on before, and it was very well organised. Just this time, it was a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened last time.
This is what happens when my brain is elsewhere.
And why has it been elsewhere, Mike? Are you publicising what you're doing?
Fuck it. Let's talk about that because so I'm very well aware that I don't multitask the best. Like I have stuff hovering, and then I'm focused pretty much on one thing. And then if you try and introduce something else into that mix, meh. But you've seen the nearly finished product yesterday. Thoughts so far?
Do you want me to announce it?
We're going to have an RV in the studio. We're going to be doing Between Sets podcast.
I was going to joke around and say something else.
Person.
So yeah, Mike, I'm not sure if you heard that because that was the worst impression of fuck knows what.
I mean, I'm just trying to add some dynamism.
Dynamism.
Dynamism. Yeah, that's a word. Fuck it.
Some jazz. Jazz hands. Yeah, you converted your gym into a sex dungeon, wasn't it?
Yes, I have. It's all black everything. There's a few bits left to sort out. So I've got some stuff arriving tomorrow, and then I'm actually getting some equipment arriving in a few days' time. And then it really is about how quickly I can put stuff together. But in theory, hopefully by the next podcast, we might be in there. Now, it is interesting for a few different things. Number one, you get to see us kind of sitting next to each other in person. I don't know what that looks like yet. That's the first question.
You've even said so. Yeah, we're gonna try a podcast at your gym.
Yeah,
in your garage.
Yeah. So we're gonna give that a go. But this is
Have you bought sound absorbing foam?
Yes. So there is acoustic paneling due to go onto the walls. So it shouldn't be echoey. There'll be stuff in there as well. So it's not just going to be like an empty room. But it's interesting in the sense that we will be able to do a podcast in an environment where if you have fitness-based questions, within reason, specifically weightlifting, we'll be able to demonstrate them for you right then and there and answer them in detail.
Yeah.
I can go into biomechanics. I can go into whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard because obviously we're visual and audio. Is that a word?
Yeah.
God fucking knows. But I'm going to have to try and commentate you as well as the viewers viewing you, which is going to be quite interesting. I've never commentated on anything, so I can just try to imagine trying to explain what a bench press looks like to a blind person. It's basically what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
I don't know how. And here we have Mike lying down in his natural habitat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to commentate it like fucking David.
What you're going to have to do is listen to us on the podcast, and if you hear us talking about anything fitness related, you're going to have to go over to YouTube as well, just to kind of that little clip, just
double views. I love it.
But in theory, that gives us potential reels and all this kind of stuff for the Instagrams and the shit talks. Do you like TikTok?
I like TikTok for. The thing is, right? Like you're speaking to the wrong guy. Like I'm a digital advertiser. Like TikTok is good for people who want to reach. But for businesses, a lot of businesses that I'm dealing with, like there is one specifically actually releasing a golf app that needs reach. TikTok's perfect for that because you can get views all over the world so fucking easily with TikTok. Whereas when you're looking at Instagram and Facebook, it's quite localized. So it's all right.
I've speaking of golf, I mean, kind of weird because that thing came through on our networking thing about golf, and I'm glad you asked those questions because that was the first thing in my brain as well. Do you need to be able to play golf? It turns
this is
out,
another thing. Like, like people, I don't know. Like, I don't want to bitch about people. It's really hard not to sometimes.
This is your place to bitch. This is your safe space, which gets broadcast.
This is exactly what my therapist said, apart from the broadcasting thing. I don't understand how people don't think before they start advertising stuff. Like, imagine advertising an event, right? Not really telling us the times. Or it's the rules.
Or imagine trying to line up a guest and not telling them what time they're meant to be on the friggin'
Imagine being a complete cunt.
It's my bad. I'll take
it. I'm assuming she's not responded. To be fair, I was surprised she said she was free today because when I went onto her Instagram, it did say like this week is Bring a Friend week, which I'm assuming is like, oh, it's going to be quite busy for you then.
Yeah, no, nothing. It's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, so we had this golfing invite come through as part of our networking. Yeah, and for me, if it's coming through via a networking thing, I'm assuming it's a pretty sociable thing. Come along, make a tit of yourself, and you'll probably have a few people who actually golf there, right? It doesn't seem like that kind of way. Like I think you've got to be pretty switched on as a golfer. But that aside, I've had a recommendation from one of my clients because he plays a lot of golf. He's an older guy, got a couple of like health issues that we kind of work around, and part of which is keeping him fully active and mobile for golf and tennis. And he thinks I should start to specialize and get people into doing specific golf PT. Because again, generally speaking, people who play golf are, not to stereotype, but it's guys and they're a little bit older, right? Either getting towards retirement age, although there seems to be younger people getting into it now more and more, but thinks a lot of them would benefit from a certain type of PT. So that's what we've been working on, and I might speak to some of the more golfy type people at the next networking meeting and see what can be done.
Yeah, I'll invite you to the one. So I go to a networking event at the golf club. So it might be
that would be handy.
Yeah, it might be handy, and then you can actually speak to them because there's actually one of the chairman or whatever you call it that owns the place comes to it. And you can speak to him whether there's anyone that they're recommending at the minute, and if not, then obviously they can recommend people to you because that makes sense. Like it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? People don't really think about golf and physio, but that's kind of like
exactly. But there's if you look at again, this is a very weird niche that I've found myself working my way into. Like if you look at exercises for golf and you punch that into Google, you'll see some like 4 posts pop up at the top, and the vast majority of them are utter dog shit. Like none of them are actually valuable for golf in any way, right? And then you'll get the other end of the spectrum where you've got someone actively trying to teach someone to play golf. That is not me, because I've taken clumps out of the ground as I'm playing golf. It's nothing pretty to look at. However, in terms of the realms of getting someone developed, sport specific, okay, cool. That's a bit of me. So if I can get in contact with the golf coaches locally at local golf clubs and say, okay, this person's got mobility issues, it's stopping them from fully rotating to their swing, cool, I can work with that. That's things I can definitely do for,
Yeah. Well, where I am if you need graphic design done, because that sounds like a lot of social media work.
It does.
But this is it. And it's if you enjoy that as well, because what I love about networking is like it's basically free market research. Like when I started Fuzzy Logic, like over a year ago now almost, it had completely different intentions to where it's landed right now. And that's only because, as you found out, like when you're networking, you realize where there's opportunities, and there's opportunities that you actually enjoy. Like, I'm not saying like you started as a PT and now all of a sudden you're selling newspapers. Like it's the same thing, isn't it? But you're just kind of like going down a different path.
I think from a business or a personal perspective, the phrase or the word that I would use is pivot, right? So develop a skill set. Okay, cool. You've got that skill set. No one can take that away from you. And this is why, number one, if you want to invest in anything, invest in yourself and learn new skills, whether that's paying for a course, spending time online. There's so much information there, but you need to be really good at it. Like, you need to be the best at what it is that you want to be, whatever it is you want to do, right?
And then but I wouldn't say that as such. Oh, I don't know. Because I still don't think I'm the best at videography, and yet everyone that I've worked for, they think I am. But I honestly think I'm not, because I've not studied.
I think in terms of what you do for people, yes, you are.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the people that are listening, don't think that you are the best at it. Like, throw yourself in the deep end and you'll get good.
Yeah, so to clarify, always aim to be the best that you can be at that thing, right? If you assume you are the best, then you've got nothing to learn, and that's never a good position to be in. Like, I'm still learning now. Like, part of my Instagram search travels and YouTubing, I've now found a channel which shows human dissections, and it shows you individual muscle fibers and the names of them, and it's all very interesting. I'll send you some links.
I'm not interested.
It's fine. I'll send it across. Don't worry. I'll
tell you what then.
Don't worry.
I'll send you some links about videography. To be fair, I know I'm a PT and I should know it, but this is the reason why I enjoy dealing with people who are starting up, because, like, basically what'll happen is, like, this is the 11 will happen, right, on the weekend, right, and then they'll do this program, and they've already signed up basically to January's one as well, and potentially do the one after that. And then I've already spoken to a couple of them, and then I'll say, right, go to Mike now. You've completed the fuzz course. You level up to RVN Fitness, because it comes to a point where it's just like if they really want to start taking it seriously, do you know what I mean? I can't help them. If they want to start doing competitive stuff, if they want to, because I'm not a full-time personal trainer, so they're better off investing similar money to someone like yourself, who is who's not just a full-time personal trainer, but you wank over PTs. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are slightly orgasmic over muscle fibers.
I got such a big right arm, mate.
Yeah, exactly. You are like fucking giggity goo. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. And like, what I love about my side of it is, because I'm not a full-time PT, there's a lot less pressure on me with these. And I think that's what makes us quite different. It's like, I'll happily offer a couple of free PT sessions, because, like, I'm barely making money from it anyway. It's just pocket money.
You just enjoy it.
I just fucking enjoy it. Yeah,
I've got time for that, and it's equally why I do what I do. Like, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I would still do this. Yeah. What would be different would be I would buy my own little private gym, and I'd invite the people that I want to train there, that I like, and I give them a free membership, whatever else, and I would still do this.
Yeah,
it'll probably be for less hours in a day, admittedly. Yeah, but I would still do this.
Definitely. And if I won a lottery, do you know how many cameras I'd buy, mate?
I can, you know what? I can believe it.
And they'll have to be waterproof, because I'll be wanking on them. I'm joking. What? That was so weird. I'd love to
push to that point, though. I'd love to push to that point. So I've kind of started the process with this, with the studio starting up. Expansion would then be a private gym. Again, I'm not interested in making millions from it. I just want to invite people that I like to train around. They're good people. Okay, they'll have to pay for a membership, because at the end of the day, it's a business. But I think I can provide a much better environment, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
The thing is, what you've done
that's the goal.
Like, it's amazing what you've done to a single gym, single garage thing, right? But I think personally, if you're going to upgrade or expand, you're almost better off moving house and getting a double garage, because yet again, you're not paying rent. Like, the amount of time, like, if you think about it, right? Like that place that I was looking up at the top of the village, that was basically a grand a month. Imagine if you put $1,000 a month towards your mortgage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Look at that side.
When you phrase it like that, it is exactly that. The thing is, if I was to go down that route, the size of the place that I would need to do that, we're talking about a barn, essentially. We're talking about a proper outbuilding to be able to do that.
Well, if we had a guest on, they'd better tell us that they've only got a small unit. That's a single unit.
I've actually seen the unit that's next door to them. I was looking at that as a potential option. And And to be fair, there's offers on it at the moment with, you get 9 months at half price and all this kind of stuff. Again, issues, parking's limited. That's number one, especially in that unit. Number two, the space isn't bad. Like the internal space, you can do a lot with it. But there's a reason that it's got that offer of 9 months half price, because nobody actually wants to put a business in there. Because where you can, if you would say, you either go the way of having a small business in which you've got maybe 2 employees, because that's what you've got parking for. If it's a place where lots of people go to, parking's a problem. And then the other issue is where it is, this traffic is a bastard. From a personal perspective, I know I spoke briefly about it before, but the next push for me is, now that I've got my own space to train people, I also have my own space to be able to record stuff as well, without the need to get a tripod out. We've done some recordings in commercial gyms with microphones and tripods, and it's a pain in the arse. Like, it's people in the way.
Now that's the only reason why I go to the gym before it's open. It's the only filming.
Actually get anything done, because otherwise you've got to put stuff down. Oh, make sure I don't get this person in. I can't get the TVs. All that crap. Whereas I've got my own private space now to be able to do that. So part of that will be really pushing the social media side of things with a drive to getting online coaching going. So for me, in terms of my onboarding process, I've pretty much got that down to a T. So I had a couple of new people start up for my challenge thing, and I can get them onboarded. The whole thing takes 5 minutes. I've got such a library of workouts. There's going to be something that I can tweak it over slow time once I discover what they can or can't do, what they like, what they don't like, so on. Nutrition, I can have that up and going in all of about 30 seconds. That's cool, no problem. And all the payments are automated as well. So there's very little input from my side of things when somebody signs up. So all I just need to do now is push that out to an audience and start to get people signed up. That's the next.
This is it. Does TrainerWise have a check-in function? Does it?
Kind of. So what I've done is created my own check-in form with the bare basic questions. So if somebody is pressed for time, those are the questions that I would want answered, essentially. And then hopefully during the week, in between check-ins, they're then asking questions. That's the part I try to get across to people, is use me. I like to answer questions. I like to be a geek about stuff. But they get that automated check-in come through every Friday. So then on the Saturday morning, I'll then go through any questions, all that kind of stuff. So
nice.
Yeah, as automated as I can possibly make it.
Yeah, there's so much software for that now, which is amazing. Obviously, it costs money and it takes it off of your outgoings. But if you've got 30 clients that are just online, you're laughing.
Yeah, this is exactly it. And it sounds bad, and I mean this purely in a business sense. It's the only way, really, in terms of training, that you can move away from the model of exchanging 1 hour of your time for X amount of money. Because that's essentially what the personal training model is, and the sports massage model is. Here's an amount of time, here's what I charge for that time. Problem is, you have limited amount of time in a week that realistically you can actually be working.
This is half the reason why I started the 11, because I would need 10 clients, 10 separate PT sessions basically a week. But actually, well, not 10, I say 7. But now I'm only spending 1 hour doing one class a week, and I'm tripling my money, and it does work out that way. But everyone still thinks it's a bargain, and I think, I don't know what it is, but I've pulled a lucky one here, because at the end of the day, once this is done, and you know what I'm like, I'll be all over social media posting the different classes and different reviews of what people have thought of it, etc., etc. So by January, everyone, hopefully, there'll be a lot of people that are basically the demand will be high, and I might even consider doing 2 separate groups, potentially, of 2 11s.
But 2 hours a week is no real stretch, is it really? But you've just then got to advertise and double your membership, essentially. So if you've got people that have been waiting to sign up for the most recent one, but the spaces have gone.
The price will increase. The price will stay the same for the current members to encourage them to stay over. But it'll probably add on. I'll add on a little bit more. But so it's amazing, really, because it's kind of again with the PT side of it, I've definitely fallen into this bracket where I enjoy specializing in more of a group socializing sort of aspect. So I push my couples package rather than the sort of solo one.
Yep.
There's two friends working out together. You got an oh my god, what's wrong with me? You've got an accountability partner straight away, and then it takes a lot of stress 100%. From you.
Yeah, do you know what? I've never really planned the community side of things too much before, but it's really cool to see. So like some of my clients, for example, they've made friends just because they have gotten talking when they're speaking to me in the gym, as an example. Yeah. And some of them have been up to Chessington together recently. They took their kids with them, so it's just quite a cool little thing. Like
gym friend,
common ground. Your common ground is being gym friends and being bullied by me. So it's a bit weird, but whatever works.
Yeah, it's quite funny actually. Because obviously I wouldn't have met my therapist if it wasn't really for you, I guess, either.
Mm.
And I said to her at the end of the last session, I was like, I'm assuming it's probably a bit unprofessional if I asked you to come on the podcast again, as you are my actual therapist. And she did say, like, I don't know if that's the best bet. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, it depends what you talk about. As long as you don't, well,
no, but it might impact her, people that view her. Why is she on her own client's podcast? Do you know what I mean? I get it. I do get it.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. But I don't know. I don't know how what the professional code of conduct is in that realm. But if you make it clear at the start, like we're not talking about your shit.
But do you know what though? Right? Like when you're, like, I'll shout her out. Her name's Lindsay. I don't. McDonald? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what her last name is.
Yes, yeah.
I'm the word. Did I get that right, mate? I'm fucking amazing.
Yeah, you did.
But what I love about her, like, I won't lie to you, she has like changed my life a bit. Like I'm a lot more productive. Despite her originally thinking that I was taking on too much, which I was, I'm actually now more productive, but I don't feel it, if that makes sense.
I remember when we go through PT sessions, like our opinions and stuff marry up on some things and then clash on others.
Mm.
But what's really cool is like we're able to have that very kind of non-judgy, like opinion-based thing about that without like I don't know how to explain it. Like she would say something, I outright don't agree with that. I'll just say that right now. But it's not like in a confrontational way. And equally, she'd say the same thing to me about some stuff, and it's quite it's quite cool.
No, yeah, and one thing that I didn't realize either. Like one thing that Lindsay told me was having ADHD and being neurodivergent, what she was saying, is the fact that you're really good at kind of judging people. And you can adapt to their sort of level, and that's something that I never really thought was a skill of mine until that sort of happened. I thought it was just like a natural thing. But it's the same thing with clients. Like I'm not sure if I posted a video today with boxing, and I put it on LinkedIn, and I basically said like, don't worry, I don't shout at everyone. Just only shout at the people that I know react well with shouting. Like they're more motivated because you're shouting at them. Like if I was PTing my wife and I shouted at her, there's no fucking way she'd enjoy that. Do you know what I mean? It's just adapted, isn't it?
This is interesting. So this is where I think we differ, and I don't think it's a bad thing. So having spoken to Lindsay about this kind of thing before, like she would describe neurodivergent or ADHD people as like emotionally aware. Like you can walk into a room and just kind of have a feel of like, oh, something's weird in here.
Yeah, it's really odd, isn't it? And also, we know each other. I didn't realize either. We've got like this weird gaydar, but not gaydar, but like mongdar, I call it. But you know another mong in the room, basically. Like there's other people in the room that has like either ADHD or autism. For some reason, you just like, this is weird mongdar. I won't use that word again.
I'm not. Oh, God. Train of thought is well gone. But so where you scale and change your approach based on the person, that's probably something that I should do. However, I don't. I'm consistent.
But again, that's a skill in itself,
regardless.
Though. And that's what people like. This is the reason why, like, not everyone will want you as a PT, but the people but there's always people that want you as a PT. Like, it's always that thing. Like, none of your clients will enjoy me, I don't think, as one of your PTs. Because if they enjoy you, then they won't enjoy me. We're very different.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And it's the same. It will be the same thing with a therapist. I mean, I would say you've probably lucked into finding a very good therapist in Lindsay, having spoken to her as much as I have.
Yeah, but it's the same there. Like, there would be a lot of people that won't really appreciate her.
Yep,
but yeah,
100%.
it is like finding a soulmate, isn't it?
or,
almost, it's someone who can talk on your level. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I agree completely. I'm still not quite over Mongdar, but yeah.
You can't say it, mate. It's like saying the N word. I'm joking. Yeah, no, it's good. What lies you like? Is it now something? Now I've spoken about it quite a lot. The whole therapist side of it. Is it something that you would ever consider? Because you were just talking about investing in yourself and investing in, developing yourself. And do you not think a therapist or even a business coach potentially could do that?
So, business coach, yes, absolutely. So that's something I'm looking at for the online coaching side of things specifically. The therapy side of things, what's the best way of saying this? Can of worms that doesn't need opening. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Again, I've had this conversation with Lindsay. Like she said, she maintains 100%. I've got stuff that needs talking about, but it doesn't. I don't feel like it affects me on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll describe when I'm really getting into the zone when it comes to training, right? You tell me if this sounds weird, because I've been told by a few people it is odd, right?
Okay, talk to me.
So when I'm putting myself through,
don't forget we're public now, so everyone can hear now.
It's fine. Cool. I don't really give a shit. Again, I'm consistent. What you see is what you get. So if I'm going through a particularly nasty workout, right? Yeah. I put myself into the headspace that there is someone out there in the general public that is trying to kill me.
Every time?
Well, not every time I'm working out, but sometimes if I'm struggling in a workout or I just really want to go, then that's the headspace I get myself into.
Oh, wow.
And and that's the thing. There surprises a few people when I mention that, but you have to understand that there are people out there, and I'm not saying it's like necessarily in this country, but there are people in the world who hate you for the color of your skin, the lifestyle you lead, the things you do, who you are as a person, who you aren't as a person. Like, whatever it happens to be, that person despises you. They've never met you. It's you as a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Or there's equally some absolute lunatic running about with a knife and you kind of get caught. Or you need to be able to protect someone that you love or care about, right? To do that, you need to be physically capable. And I'm not saying you need to be in this headspace where you think you're constantly going to be attacked, but having that awareness is important.
I was actually talking to my 11 about that quite recently. The fact that boxing, for instance, like you feeling confident that you can punch someone gives you so much confidence in public. But that's just a personal opinion. Like I started being a doorman when I was 18 with almost no training.
Yeah.
And it didn't terrify me, but before that, I had never been in a proper fight. I've been jumped, but I've never been in a proper fight before. Yeah. So what my dad did, which is an absolutely amazing thing, which I've always been extremely grateful for, is he invested a lot of money in both of us to attend these classes where how to disarm someone with a knife, a lot of taekwondo stuff, a lot of it was amazing. It was almost like a year and a half of a lot of brutal, violent sort of self-defense stuff. And just from that, it's given me so much confidence. A lot of people don't even probably think about that.
No. And I honestly don't agree with that. I again, this is coming from my background, and I think this is where Lindsay kind of thinks I should probably talk about some of this stuff. But it's not an emotional thing for me, but I've seen the worst people in society from working in the police, right? These people exist. They are out there. They're horrible human beings. And in all likelihood, you probably won't come across them in day-to-day life. That's just the chance of it, right? However, you might. Or someone around you might have some kind of encounter. And equally, I think it's your responsibility as a good human being to be able to look after yourself, number one. Okay, cool. But then also be able to look after other people. Now, there's a really good phrase, and I think this one did get her kind of thinking. I was like, so a non-violent man or a man who's not capable of violence isn't peaceful. He's harmless.
Okay.
So to be peaceful, you have to be capable of violence and then choose not to be. That's what makes you a good human being. If you're not capable of violence, you have no option.
Yeah.
You just you
I think I have to agree with you on that. I think I have to agree with you on that. Yeah. Like the courses that I did, it didn't really teach you much about, like, obviously, for instance, the knife course, right? It didn't teach you how to stab someone. It literally just taught you how to disarm them.
Yeah.
So there's different things. Obviously, with boxing, for instance, it will teach you how to guard up, but then obviously it also teaches you how to punch someone. So it's just how you use that knowledge, but also how do you sort of harness it. And I don't think exercise, like, there's two different boxings. Obviously, you've got the boxing, the exercise, like we're just doing boxing classes to sweat the fucking bollocks off, and then you've got boxing coaches who probably want to work on like the technical terms and everything, and your form and all that lot, making sure you don't break your wrist.
Essentially,
yeah. But I think what really pushes the mindset around being an absolute prick and harming people isn't the exercise or the knowledge of it. I think it's your childhood. It's a lot of it's based on that, and how you were raised and your thoughts behind life.
Yeah, I agree completely. And from martial arts and things like this, what you'll generally find is, so when you go into mixed martial arts or jiu-jitsu and stuff like this, like everyone's really nice, right? Like bar none, everyone is really friendly, very easy to get along with, because when some dickhead turns up wanting to just have a scrap of a fight, more often than not they just get bullied out of the gym, basically, because it's not the right environment. And what then you find, don't get me wrong, some of these people slip through the cracks, or they go to like knobhead gyms and stuff like this. And when I say gyms, I mean martial arts gyms specifically. These people just don't make it very far into it, essentially. So it's the age-old thing. It's like it's bullies, and then people who are willing to stand up against bullies.
Yeah, that's another thing. I would love to honestly speak to a bully, someone who's openly admitting to be just they thrive off of bullying, because again, it's a mindset thing. It's a brain that they're not. I'm not saying that they potentially have been raised that way, but their brain is washed. They've been brainwashed. And it's a weird kind of dopamine hit to belittle people. I think honestly, I don't see that. I don't understand, because I get a massive hit of dopamine when I help people, when I can fix something, or when there's an opportunity to fix something that I know that I can fix. Which is kind of half the reason why I'm seeing a therapist, is just because I got to stop fucking trying to fix everything.
It's that power trip thing, essentially. It's inherently there's something wrong in their character that they need to be able to search for and crave.
But normally it's because they were bullied by their parents.
Quite possibly. I mean, Joe, weirdly, this goes back to when I was actually managing the gym. There was an incident there where two guys who were friends, I was actually away on holiday at the time, and then I got a message through from one of them saying that he was going to have to cancel his gym membership. And like, this was like so far removed from this person wanting to do it. I was like, really? Why? Like, bear in mind, he was sending me, I don't think he was aware I was away on holiday or whatever, but I was just curious. I was like, right, why are you doing that? And he told me that this other guy who he trains with, some issue over a girl, basically, was threatening, like, sending him text messages to come around and stamp on his head and all this kind of stuff. He sent me the messages, sent me the screenshots, all this kind of stuff. I was like, look, just don't go in the gym until I'm back. I'll sort it out for you. And so the guy came in, and it's not like, he's a big guy. Like, he's a very big guy, and the other guy's quite small, right? So it's a very physically different situation. And I just said, what the fuck are you playing at? Because these guys, they were friends, like really good friends.
Yeah.
I said, look, you send anything like that again, you're going to be gone from here. It won't be him. So I suggest you stop. I suggest you come in at different times, do whatever. And it was just this stereotypical falling out. But it was like very much like, I will threaten you so that you leave this place and don't come in. And do you know what I mean? It's just wrong.
I think people just need to sometimes realize that we're all going to die one day. Like, I watched this meme the other day. It was a little video animation, and it was like I'm not sure if I sent it to you, but it was in like a very corporate setting, just about to sit down at a meeting with like loads of other corporate sort of directors or whatever of this business. And he just sits down and goes, right, before we start this meeting, I just want to kind of start off on a vibe of the fact that we're all going to die one day. So let's just not really kind of, let's just not take this a bit too seriously, right? We're all going to die. Could be tomorrow. Right, let's crack on. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, that is hilarious. That's what we need. That's what we need in life.
100%. When you, like, you've obviously worked in business, like, at a senior level.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that comes up in management meetings, and it is so petty. Like, again, I've worked in different levels of businesses, right? So I've been an employee, team leader, manager, senior manager, right? When you're working as part of a team, you kind of think, oh wow, those guys have their shit together, and then you get to senior management and you realize, holy Jesus, these people have no clue what they're doing. They are all petty. They are the same thing as like power grabbing. Like, oh no, I'm meant to be controlling this. Like, fuck off. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's half the reason why I left Amazon, to be honest with you. You get a lot of like brown noser twats. You get a lot of people who think they're extremely successful, but it's just their form of what success is, and like, everyone's got a different view on what success is. And I do think now that I think you could be as high as you possibly can with Amazon, but I don't think that's as successful as actually running and starting your own business from scratch, personally.
I would agree 100%. You learn an infinite amount more by making mistakes in your own business setup.
And you're not even being paid for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can go on holiday and be paid for it. Yeah, that is successful in the fact that like you can do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't make it. Like, do you know what I mean? You've not made this. You have just been a clog in it. I don't know. It's hard really to say that, like, because obviously you got a lot of employment, a lot of employees who do work fucking hard. But from an outside perspective now, that I've been there, it's like you're working so much out of your hours and stuff just to put more money in someone else's pocket.
I think the estimate is to be able to afford to pay you the salary that you get, the company has to earn at least 5 times what they are paying you to justify it, essentially. Otherwise, that company is not going to be a company for very long.
Well, that's the same thing with my wife. And that's it. Like, my wife knows, like, my wife obviously knows my wife. She charges clients, so she's a lawyer, right? She will charge her clients almost £400 an hour, which is fucking mental, by the way. She's not even a prostitute. She's a lawyer. And obviously she takes home, she doesn't take home anywhere near half of that.
That's the mad thing. So I've got friends who are solicitors as well. And, they are measured based on their billable hours. That'll probably make sense to you. So essentially, like, how many hours work they directly do for a client, which they are charging for. And, their level of success is how many billable hours they essentially get. That's how much money they bring into the company. They don't get paid anywhere close to what their billable hours
are. That's why a lot of people go private.
Yep.
And that's what goes back to our earlier conversation, is like, these guys are going to a firm that's well established and have been around for a very long time. But if you started a business right now, yes, it's going to be extremely tough, but how much of a following will that business have in 10 years' time? You'll be at that point where you'll be employing. So it's like, it's a sacrifice that a lot of people don't want to make, but it's so worth it in the long term if you have that mindset, if you have the knowledge and confidence behind yourself. And obviously it's down to opportunity. Like, it's the worst timing ever for us. Like, we'll probably end up having another baby at some point in the next 2 years. And it's just like, I cannot even imagine trying to run this business, trying to also be a personal trainer. Like, I'm having to step down from Parish Council because it's just, I haven't got a fucking time. And I haven't even got a minute to wipe my ass at the minute.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things. I've been so lucky with my son who, like, throughout our time, like, I met you as a dad. You didn't even know me before I was a dad, did you?
Nope.
But it's only because my son was sleeping till like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, every morning.
And that allowed you to get to the gym and do whatever bits you need to do.
And he still does it now. And he's almost 3. And I'm like, there's no way if we have another kid, it's going to be like that. I'm sorry. We've won the lottery with this child. Like,
It's all the drugs you give him.
Yeah, gotta stop fucking Hypnos on one of those. Yeah. Anyway, for an episode where we were meant to have a guest, it's not been too bad. I don't think we've definitely kind of come off.
We've blagged a blinder there.
We've blagged. There was actually one thing on my list which I wanted to include in the introduction, which I've not even discussed yet. I've just realised because I've got a fuckload of questions for Courtney on my list, which are now completely redundant, by the way.
Yeah.
But it was about qualifications because you went to uni, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, I think this is basically me just trying to convince myself that I didn't need to go to university. But when it comes to like what my role is now, right, a content creator theoretically, right, I'm an artist in a weird way because it's creation of art, like videography and photography, and like people might not like it, some people will. It's just one of those things, right? I completely agree qualifications are required for like accountancy, obviously doctors, teachers, lawyers, and that side of things. But when it comes to like the creative arts, right, does it need a degree? Because you're basically being shown to do something by someone else who's already done it. So you're just copying. So do you know what I mean? Like, the whole point of being creative is to have a different angle and stand out.
I mean, I'll use an artsy type degree as an example, English literature, right? So unless you want to go on to be a successful author, write your own books, so on, or work in a library, or go on to teach children English literature, it's a pointless degree. Like, it teaches you to write things, but I'd argue being able to do A-level English, like that, once you're at that level, you can already write English pretty well. It's your language. Like, if you can't write English well, then there's kind of a problem with the education system, right? So as an example, there's one. One for you would be like media studies, I suppose, and seeing how certain like big scale media is created, like films or TV productions, all this kind of stuff.
Again, like, that's nothing that I'm ever going to get into.
Not needed.
Though. Yeah,
it's like like everything.
I've never had the urge to be a videographer for film set because I feel like that's just too much.
Yeah, no, and that's equally valid. Like, you've been able to teach yourself the skill set you need to do your job, right? And you're backing that up based on a portfolio of work. Okay, cool. Here's some of the stuff that I can do. That's it. That's what you need, right? Okay, so I'll speak from personal experience now. So I study biochemistry and genetics. I have used that degree in a few various things in the work that I've done, one of which was as a radiation protection supervisor. So the health side of keeping people healthy whilst working radioactives, because I did a bit on physics. Cool, use the degree for that. Other than that, it just kind of separates me as a trainer in that I can back up what I say with science, so on. But again, not needed. I'd even argue the course that you do to be a personal trainer is dog shit. It's utter bollocks.
Like,
and I said it many times, and I stick by it.
Yeah, I think it just filters out the bullshit. But saying that, like, people are still getting stupid. Like, people are just getting those qualifications without doing anything. I don't know what it is, but there's something out there where someone's fucking up there.
100%. So there was the knobhead personal trainer, and that's in quotations for those of you listening, in the gym. So we found the course that he claims to have done. It's a 1-day course.
Which
you paid £24 for.
Who's this?
Silly man who wants to have an argument with me in the gym.
No way.
A few episodes. Yeah. So we found his course that he says he's now qualified for. It's a 1-day course which you pay £24 for. You're essentially paying for a certificate.
That's mental.
And
that's a level 3 PT.
Well, it can't be a level 3 qualification because I don't understand how that works. Yeah. Like, it's insane. But yeah, I mean,
mental
qualifications mean jack shit. Like, I've got a degree, and I've actually done the RPS job that I did was, and bear in mind, that's like keeping people healthy whilst working with radioactive materials. No one asked to see my degree.
Yeah.
No one checked it. Since I've been employed, no one's asked for GCSEs, A-levels, or a degree. No one's asked to see my PT certificate in the entire time in the 3 years that I've been doing PT. Not once.
That's one thing I would love to try, because when I started at Amazon, I was very lucky. I didn't need a degree. But now, to work at Amazon, to actually be an employee of Amazon, you need a degree.
Yeah.
Which I think is unreal.
Really?
Like in anything. It could be in fucking wiping someone's ass. I don't really understand why that... Exactly. I don't know what it shows. And that really stresses me out. Like, you think... what you're because whilst I was there, like I was a senior manager, as you know, you'd get these like shift managers come in and... what would you call them? But basically, they've just qualified. They've just finished university. And
graduates,
they'd come in at quite a decent wage, but we are talking 6-7 years ago now. They'd come in at like 35 grand straight from university, right? Yeah. And they think they fucking know it all because someone's offered them a decent salary, and they have no people skills because they've been in university for 3 or 4 or 5 years, whatever. But and all of a sudden, like within 3 months, they're being bullied by everyone because they're talking down to everyone. Even senior managers, and they're out of it. And then now they have to learn the hard way. And it's just like, what? Hang on a minute. Surely if you just took on someone who's been doing this role for 4 or 5 years rather than studying it, you'd be more successful.
And that's where you buy experience. That's the best thing you can do. Like if I'm working at Amazon, say in logistics, where you're planning routes for people, all this kind of stuff, I'm not hiring a graduate. Yeah. I'm hiring someone that's worked in a logistics company who has been planning routes because that's what they're doing.
This is it. But if you want to be a doctor, you obviously fucking need a qualification. I'm fully aware of that.
100%.
Like, there's different jobs and things, but Amazon, really?
So speaking from, again, so my brother is now a doctor, recently graduated. He is starting as like bottom rung.
Yeah.
Like if you're bottom rung as a doctor, and then nurses, because they've been doing the job, they all know more than you. You listen to the nurses. Yeah. And then above that, then you've got doctors who have been doing that job for 4 or 5 years and start to have some confidence in applying their knowledge.
Yeah.
And you still listen to all your nurses and all your supporting staff because they've been doing it way longer than you. And then you get to consultant. And then you're still listening to everyone.
But honestly, I'd love to.
There's no ego involved.
Maybe we should get your brother on, because I would love to understand from his perspective what it must feel like to spend a fortune and so much time getting a qualification just to start off at the bottom, because it must really test your personality and who you are.
Well, especially so my brother went a different route into medicine as well. So he did a 3-year, I'm going to try and get this right, he did a 3-year biomedical degree, a biomedicine degree first. And then because he did that degree, he went into medicine, and it was a 4-year course as opposed to 5. So he's been studying for 7 years.
Wow. That's mental, isn't it? It is mental. Right.
And he's the brainy one.
Yeah. Yeah, but normally the brainy ones are fucking clumsy. Is he a clumsy cunt? I bet he is. He better not be if he's a doctor, actually. I'd rather not. No, I wouldn't. Don't tell me that.
I wouldn't say he's clumsy, to be honest with you.
Because my wife's so smart. Like, she is so smart. But then she'll just trip over like a dog toy randomly and hurt herself. And I'm like, what is wrong with you, mate? What is wrong with you?
Why are you doing that? Yeah. No, you'd like to think they have some kind of hand-eye coordination if they're jabbing people with various things.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Maybe they should do like a test, they should do like rounders. If you don't hit this ball, mate, then you got no hand-eye coordination.
I mean, he used to play hockey a lot, so I think he's all right. He's fine.
That's the first year of doctorship. Is it doctorship? I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just playing ice hockey for a year.
Yeah. No, actual field hockey, like on grass.
That's gay. Not like gay, but that is a bit homosexual.
I mean, I would say it's not a proper sport, but I don't really play sports, so I can't really judge.
Yeah, you need to get... we need to play basketball at some point.
Oh, dude, why do you want to do this to me?
Okay.
Like,
we don't really get out much, mate. We only catch up during a publicised talk. There's only so much we can talk about in front of everyone.
Yeah, all right.
Let's just get our balls out, bounce them on the court.
Just be prepared to be embarrassed of me, because in a gym environment, cool, know my shit. When it comes to bouncing a ball,
but then you've got one on your court. Then, like, pardon the pun, you can hold someone against me if you want to take me. To be fair, actually, this is what we should do. If I come to an airsoft, you come playing basketball with me.
Hold on. You've been saying this for fucking ages now. You've left the group. I saw that.
I know, because it. Do you know what that day was penciled in my calendar for ages, and it just happened, and like life happened. I'm like, oh fuck, I was meant to go to this, but I was so busy, and my phone kept going off. I'm like, I got to leave this group because my notifications are doing my nutting.
Oh, I mean, I tell you what, it's gotten just berserk. It's gone berserk.
Plus, I don't want to be part of an airsoft gang. I just want to be a random visitor once, and then just leave, and it never happened.
I mean, we're a cool bunch of guys.
So when's the next one?
13th of October is when we'll be going next.
Right, live on air.
I think it's the 13th.
I think I might be on holiday actually.
Far off.
I've got a. Well, annoyingly, that's a Sunday, and the 11 class at 9 a.m. So that's going to clash, isn't it? 11.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, it's always on a Sunday.
But we'll go to... maybe next year then.
I mean, what do you mean next year? Oh,
what
yeah,
do you mean?
Of course.
Well, the 11 goes all the way to the 1st of December.
Yeah, I mean, we go to when it starts getting miserable outside. We're not proper outdoorsy men, so we go and play inside as well.
Well, if there's one in December, let us know. We can. It's my birthday in December. I can just use an excuse to. You can pay for me as my birthday present.
Yeah, we'll go play CQB, and you get shot in the nipple.
What is that? That sounds erotic.
It's not, I assure you. It really fucking hurts.
Depends, mate. You don't know what my fetishes are. Maybe that's the reason why I've been holding off. I don't want people seeing how happy I get. Right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll end it on a weird airsoft fetish. I'm sorry there's been no guest. I'm not really sure why. I'm apologising.
I apologise because I'm a cunt.
Mike said the C word. That is what you come here to see.
I reserve it for special occasions, and yeah, there it is. There it is.
1 hour and 20 minutes in, depending on editing. You've just heard that. That's what you've waited for. That's why you're still listening to this episode.
Yeah.
We'll see you in we'll see you in a couple of weeks, potentially with a guest if we can.
Yeah. See what we can do.
Yeah, and we're so glad we didn't announce who was joining us, because that would have been, imagine if she had have seen that. Like, next episode, join with, and it's just like, what, am I?
We did.
What?
We were talking about it towards the end of the episode. Because you were getting the name wrong, like you're calling her Charlotte and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, what I meant was like putting it on social media and tagging her and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, that would have been a bit of a backpedal, that one.
Let me know if you hear from her. I will email her from my email, from the Fuzzy Studios sort of email address, just to see what she wants to do next, because we'll put the ball in her court now.
I'll drop her a message. I'll just say, really sorry, I've dropped the bollock on this one.
Right, live on air, basically, you've seen the operation behind Between Sets. We're not great, and that's the reason why we've not made it yet.
Listen, we're persistent, if shit.
Yeah. If you want to volunteer to be a PA of Between Sets, it's unpaid, but you get paid in experience.
It's unpaid. Experience is valuable, like we've just been talking about.
Exactly. Self-development is key.
Maybe you can send us some applications, and we can have you on as a guest if you want to organise that.
Yeah. Yeah, you get paid in free advertisement to 3 people that listen. Right. See you guys in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye-bye.